Perhaps you'll think me only so. Well, I will not contradict you.
No, he will not contradict you.
How am I to raise objection? I'm a child untaught and homely. When you tell me your perfection, tender, truthful, true and comely, that in quarrel no one's bolder, though dissensions always grieve you. Why, my love, you're so much older that, of course, I must believe you.
Yes, of course, she must believe you. If he ever asks unkindly, shut your eyes and long and kindly. Should he call you names uncomely, shut your mouth and long and dumbly. Should he rage you rightly, leftly, shut your ears and long and deafly. Thus and thus alone, Ludwig's wife may hold her own. Thus and thus alone, Ludwig's wife may hold her own.
Hello! Surely I'm not late. Oh, but dear me, you're all at the breakfast. Has the wedding taken place? My good girls, one at a time, I beg. Let me understand the situation. As solicitor to the conspiracy to dethrone the Grand Duke, a conspiracy in which the members of this company are deeply involved, I am invited to the marriage of two of its members. I present myself in due course, and I find not only that the ceremony has taken place, which is not of the least consequence, but that the wedding breakfast is half-eaten, which is a consideration of the most serious importance.
But the wedding has not taken place. We, can't get a parson.
Can't get a parson? Why, how's that? They're 3 a penny.
Oh, it's the old story.
The Grand Duke.
It seems that the little imp has selected this, our wedding day. for a convocation of all the clergy in the town to settle the details of his approaching marriage with the enormously wealthy Baroness von Krakenfeld. And there won't be a person to be had for love or money until 6 o'clock this evening.
And as we produce our magnificent classical revival of Troilus and Cressida, right at 7, we have no choice but to eat our wedding breakfast before we've earned it. So sit down and make the best of it.
Oh, I should like to pull his grand ducal ears for him, that I should. He's the meanest, the cruelest, the most spiteful little ape in all of Christendom.
Well, we shall soon be freed from his tyranny. This afternoon, the despot is to be dethroned!
Stop, rash girl! You know not what you say!
Don't be absurd. We're all in it. We're all tiled here.
Well, that has nothing to do with it. Know ye not that in alluding to our conspiracy without having first given and received the secret sign, you are all violating a fundamental principle of our association. By the mystic regulation of our dark association, ere you open conversation with another kindred soul, you must eat a sausage roll.
You must eat a sausage roll, a sausage roll.
If in turn he eats another, that's a sign that he's a brother. Each may fully trust the other. It is quaint and it is droll, but it's bilious on the whole.
Very bilious on the whole.
It's a greasy kind of pasty, which perhaps a judgment hasty might consider rather tasty. Once you speak without disguise, it found favor in our eyes.
It found favor in our eyes.
But when you've been 6 months feeding, as we have on this succeeding bilious food, it's no ill breeding if at these repulsive pies our offended gorges rise.
Yes, at these repulsive pies our offended gorges rise.
But by the mystic regulation of our dark association, ere you open conversation with another kindred soul, you must eat a sausage roll.
You must eat a sausage roll, a sausage roll, a roll, a roll, a roll,
Sausage
a roll, a roll, a sausage roll, a roll, a roll, a sausage roll, a sausage roll.
Bother the secret sign. I've eaten it till I'm quite uncomfortable. I've given it 6 times already this morning, and I can't eat any breakfast.
And it's so unwholesome. Why, we'd all be as yellow as frogs if it wasn't for the makeup.
Oh, this is rank treason to the cause. I suffer as much as any of you. I loathe the repulsive thing. I can't contemplate it without a shudder, but I am a conscientious conspirator, and if you won't give the secret sign, well, then I will.
Poor Martyr, he's always at it, and it's a wonder where he puts it.
Well, now, about to Troilus and Cressida, what do you play?
If you'll wait till I've got rid of this feeling of warm oil at the bottom of my throat, I'll tell you all about it. Oh, thank you, my love. It's gone. Well, Troilus and Cressida will be produced upon a scale of unexampled magnificence. It is confidently expected that my appearance as King Agamemnon in a Louis XIV wig will mark an epoch in the theatrical annals of Fennical Fennig. I even endeavored to persuade Ernest Doomkopf, our manager, to lend us the classical dresses for our marriage. Just think of the effect of a real Athenian wedding procession cavorting through the streets of Spices-all. Torches burning, cymbals banging, flutes tootling, zither twanging, and a throng of 50 lovely Spartan virgins capering before us, all down the high street, singing, Eloia, Eloia, oh, Poponax Eloia. Oh, it would have been tremendous.
And he declined?
He did, on the prosaic ground that it might rain. And the ancient Greeks didn't carry umbrellas. If, as is confidently predicted, Ernest Doomkopf is elected to succeed the dethroned one, mark my words, he will make a mess of it.
He's sure to be elected. Our entire company has promised to vote without qualification for him, on the understanding that all the places about the court are filled by members of our troop, according to professional precedents.
Here comes Herr Dunkov. Now we shall know all about it.
Solid, a babe in arms. So, if you keep your promises and vote Solid, I'm cocksure of election.
Trust to us, but you remember the conditions.
Yes, the conditions. All of you shall be provided for life. Every man shall be ennobled. Every lady shall have unlimited credit at the court milliners. Salaries shall be paid weekly in advance.
Oh, it's quite clear he knows how to rule a grand duchy.
Rule a grand duchy? Why, my good girl, for 10 years past, I've ruled a theatrical company. A man who could do that can rule anything.
Oh.
Were I a king in very truth, and had a son of kindness youth in probable succession, to teach him patience, teach him tact, who promptly in a fix to act, he should adopt in point of fact a manager's profession. To that condition he should stoop, despite a two-fond mother, with 8 or 10 stars in his troop, all jealous of each other, all jealous of each other. Oh, the man who can rule a theatrical crew, each member a genius and some of them too, can manage to humor them early and late, can govern this company state.
Oh, the man who can rule a theatrical crew, each member a genius and some of them too, can manage to humor them early and late, can govern the state, govern the state, this was state.
Both hey and me rehearsals like they say they'll be all right tonight. They both to go to school yet. C and each act must change her dress. D will attempt to square the breast. E will play Romeo unless his grandmother plays Juliet. S claims a Hoytons as her right. She's played for 30 seasons, and she must show herself in tight for 2 convincing reasons, 2 very well-shaped reasons. Oh, the man who can drive a theatrical team with wheelers and leaders and orders and cream can govern and rule with a wave of his fin with Europe and Ireland thrown in.
Oh, the man who can drive a theatrical team with wheelers and leaders and orders and cream can govern and rule with a wave of his fin. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, Ireland, thrown in.
Elected by my fellow conspirators to be the Grand Duke of Fenwick-Halfpenny. As soon as that contemptible little occupant of the historical throne is deposed. Here is promotion indeed. Why, instead of playing Troilus and Troy for a month, I shall be the Grand Duke of Fenwick-Halfpenny for a lifetime. Yet, am I happy? No. Far from happy. That lovely English comedian, the beautiful Julia, whose acting ability is so overwhelming that our audiences overlook her strong English accent. That rare and radiant being who treats my respectful advances with disdain unutterable. And yet, who knows, she's haughty and ambitious, and it may be that the splendid change in my good fortune will have a corresponding change in her feelings towards me.
Herr Dungoff, a word with you, if you please.
Beautiful English maiden.
No compliments, I beg. I desire to speak with you on a purely professional matter, so we will, if you please, dispense with allusions to my personal appearance, which can only tend to widen the breach which already exists between us.
My only hope shattered. The haughty Londoner still despises me. It shall be as you will.
I understand that the conspiracy in which we are all concerned is to develop today. Once the company is likely to elect you to the throne, on the understanding that the posts about the court are to be filled by members of your theatrical troupe, according to their professional importance.
That is so?
Then all I can say is that it places me in an extremely awkward position.
I don't see how it concerns you.
lady, I am bound under serious penalty to play the leading part in all your productions.
Well,
I, of course, the leading part in this production will be the Grand Duchess.
my wife!
That is another way of expressing the same idea.
I scarcely even dared to hope for this.
Of course, as your leading lady, you'll be mean enough to hold me to the terms of my agreement.
Oh, certainly.
Oh, that's so like a man. Well, I suppose there's no help for it. I shall have to do it.
She's mine! But do you really think that you care to play that part?
Care to play it? Certainly not, but what am I to do? Business is business, and I am bound by the terms of my agreement.
It's a long run, mind you, one that will last for many, many years, and no understudy. And once embarked upon it, there's no throwing it up.
Oh, we're used to these long runs in England. It is the curse of the stage, but you see, I've no option.
Yes, but do you think the part of the Grand Duchess will be good enough for you?
Oh, I think so. It's a very good part in Gerstein, and oughtn't to be a bad one in Fenning Halfpenny. Why, what did you suppose I was going to play?
But considering your personal strong dislike of me and your persistent rejection of my repeated offers, won't you find it difficult to throw yourself in the part with all the impassioned enthusiasm that the character demands? Remember, it's a strongly emotional part with long and repeated scenes of rapture, tenderness, adoration, and devotion. All in the most luxuriant excess and the most demonstrative description.
My good sir, throughout my career I've made it a rule never to allow private feeling to interfere with my professional duties. You may be quite sure that, however distasteful the part may be, if I undertake it, I shall consider myself professionally bound to throw myself into it with all the ardor at my command.
I'm the happiest man alive. Now, if you don't mind, if you could give me a mere sketch, an idea of how you would play it, it would really be important to me to know your conception of how you would play the part of my wife.
How would I play it? Now, let me see. Ah, I have it. How would I play this part? The Grand Duke's bride, all rancor in my heart, I duly hide. I drive it from my recollection, overwhelm him with a mock affection, well calculated to defy detection. That's how I play this part. The Grand Duke's bride, with many a winsome smile, I'd witch and woo, with gay and girlish guile, I'd frenzy you. I'd madden you with my caressing, I'd turtle her first love confessing, that it was not nobody would be kissing, with so much winsome wile, I'd witch and woo. Did any other maid with you succeed? I'd pitch the forward jade, I would indeed, with jealous frenzy agitated, which would of course be simulated. I'd make a wish she'd never be created. I'd make a wish she'd never be created. I'd make a wish she'd never be created. Should any other maid with you succeed? And should there come to me such summer's hence, with all the childish glee of innocence?
the path success is most certain. Is the road you prepared to endow with the delicate touches. By the heaven, the heaven, above us my value shall be my grand duchess. The road you prepared to endow with the delicate touches. By the heaven, above us my vow, my vow. Shall be my grand duchess.
My goodness me, what shall I do? I want a dreadful situation.
It's all your fault, you fool me, you love of indiscrimination.
I'm sure I don't know where to go. It's put me into such a tantrum.
It's put him into such a debtor.
This is all the events I know. The sooner we are off, the better.
Yes, the sooner off the better. Yes, the sooner off the better.
What means this agitato? What do you seek? As your Grand Duke elect, I bid you speak.
10 minutes since I met a chap who bowed an easy salutation. Thinks I, this gentleman, mayhap belong to our association. But on the whole uncertain yet, a sausage roll I took and ate. That chap replied, I don't embellish, by eating 3 with obvious relish.
Gracious, gracious, pals, no chum of ours could eat 3 sausage rolls with relish. No chum of ours could eat 3 sausage rolls with relish.
Quite reassured, I let him know our bloody to the dent, explaining that stranger chuckled much as though he found me highly entertaining. I told him all both bad and good. I bade him call, he said he would. I added much the more I muckled, the more that the chuckling chummy chuckled.
A bat could send, a bat could see he couldn't be a chum of ours if he chuckled. He couldn't be a chum of ours if he chuckled.
And as I bowed to his applause, down dropped he with hysteric bellow. And that seemed right enough, because I am a devilish funny fellow. Then suddenly, as still he squealed, it flashed on me that I'd revealed our plot with all details effective to Grand Duke Rudolph's own detective.
What folly fell to go and tell. What folly fell to go and tell our plot to anyone's detective. What folly fell our plot to tell to anyone's detective. Move me, oh you oaf me, move me, oh you oaf me. Snoop this muffins made us stay, us would not puff the candle stop. Pack 'em at once and off we go, unless we're anxious to exhibit our daring wants all in a row. Swim upon the castle till
Well, a nice mess you've got us into. There's an end of our precious plot. All up, pop, fizzle, bang, done.
Yeah. Yes, but. Fancy my choosing the Grand Duke's private detective of all men to make a confidant of. You know, when you come to think of it, it really is devilish funny.
When you come to think of it, it's extremely injudicious to admit into a conspiracy every putty-headed baboon who presents himself!
Yes, I should never do that. You know, if I were chairman of this gang, I should hesitate to enroll any pudding-headed baboon who couldn't produce satisfactory credentials of his last zoological guardians.
Ludwig is far from being a baboon. Poor boy. He could not help giving us away. It's his trusting nature. He was deceived.
his trusting nature. Oh, I should like to talk to you in my own language for just 5 minutes. Only 5 Minuten. I know some good, strong, energetic English remarks that would shrivel your trusting nature into raisins. Only you wouldn't understand them.
And here we perceive one of the disadvantages of a neglected education.
And I suppose you'll not be my Grand Duchess now.
Grand Duchess, my good friend, if you don't produce a piece, how can I play the part?
Oh, true. Do you see what you've done?
But my dear sir, you don't seem to understand. The man ate 3 sausage rolls. Keep that fact steadily before you. 3 large sausage rolls.
Bah! Lots of people eat sausage rolls who are not conspirators.
Well, then they shouldn't. It's bad form. It's not the game. When one of the human family proposes to eat a sausage roll, it is his duty to ask himself, am I a conspirator? And if upon examination he finds he is not a conspirator, he is bound in honor to select some other form of refreshment.
Of course he is. One should always play the game. What are you grinning at, you greedy old man?
Nothing.
Oh,
Don't mind me. It is always amusing to the legal mind to see a parcel of laymen bothering themselves about the matter which to a trained lawyer presents no difficulty whatever.
No difficulty.
None whatever. The way out of it is quite simple.
Simple.
Certainly. Now, attend. In the first place, you 2 men fight a statutory duel.
A statutory duel?
A statutory dual act for the crackjaw language this German is.
I never heard of such a thing.
It is true that the practice has fallen into abeyance through disuse, but all the laws of Pfennig Habpfennig run for 100 years when they die a natural death, unless in the meantime they have been revived for another century. The act that institutes the statutory duel was passed 100 years ago, and as it has never been revived, it expires tonight at midnight, so you're just in time.
But what is the use of talking to us about a statutory duel when we none of us know what a
Statutory.
duel is?
Don't you? Then I'll explain. About a century since, the code of the duello to sudden death for want of breath sent many a strapping fellow. The then presiding prince, who useless bloodshed hated, he passed an act short and compact, which may be briefly stated. Unlike the complicated laws of parliamentary draftsmen draws, it may be briefly stated. We know the complicated laws of parliamentary draftsmen draws cannot be briefly stated. By this ingenious law, if any 2 shall quarrel, they may not fight with falchions bright, which seem to him immoral, but each a card shall draw, and he who draws the lowest shall, so 'twas said, be henceforth dead, in fact a legal goest. When exigence of rhyme compels, orthography forgoes her spells, and ghost is written goest. With that an emphasis he dwells upon orthography and spells, that kind of fun's the lowest. When off the losers popped by pleasing legal fiction, and friend and foe have wept their woe in counterfeit affliction, the winner must adopt the loser's poor relations, discharge his debts, pay all his debts, and take his obligations. The winner must adopt the loser's poor relations, discharge his debts, pay all his debts, discharge his debts, pay all his debts, and take his obligations. In short, to briefly sum the case, the winner takes the loser's place with all its obligations.
How neatly lawyers state the case, the winner takes the loser's place with all its obligations. How neatly lawyers state the case, the winner takes the loser's place. How neatly lawyers state the case, the winner
see. So the man who draws the lower card.
Dies ipso facto a social death. He loses all his civil rights, his identity disappears, and the winner takes his place, whatever it may be, discharges all his functions, and adopts all his responsibilities.
That's all well as far as it goes, but it only protects one of us. What's to become of the survivor?
Yes, that is a very good point, as I might be the survivor.
The survivor goes at once to the Grand Duke, and in a burst of remorse, denounces the dead man as the moving spirit of the plot. He is accepted as king's evidence, and as a matter of course receives a free pardon. Tonight at midnight, when the law expires, the dead man will ipso facto come to life again and resume all his obligations as though nothing unusual had happened.
Then he will be at once arrested, tried, and executed on the evidence of the informer. Candidly, my friend, I don't think much of your plot.
Dear, 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 the ignorance of the laity. My good young lady, it is a beautiful maxim of our glorious Constitution that a man can only die once. Death expunges crime, and when he comes back to life again, it will be with a clean slate.
It's really very ingenious.
Oh, my dear sir, we owe you our lives.
May I kiss him?
Certainly not. You are a big girl now. Well, miscreant, are you prepared to meet me on the field of honor?
At once. Oh, what a couple of fire eaters we are.
Ludwig doesn't know what fear is.
Oh, I don't mind this sort of duel.
It's not like a duel with swords. I hate a duel with swords. It's not the blade I mind, it's the blood.
And I hate to duel with pistols. It's not the ball I mind, it's the bang.
Altogether, it is a great improvement on the old method of giving satisfaction.
Strange the view some people hold, two young fellows quarrel, then they fight, for both are bold, rage of both is uncontrolled, both are stretched out stark and cold. Really, where is the moral? Ding, ding, dong, ding, dong, dong. Ding, ding, dong, ding, dong, dong. There's an end to further action, and this barbarous transaction is described as satisfaction. Ha ha, ha ha, satisfaction. Ding, ding, dong, ding, dong. Ding, dong, ding, dong. Each is laid in churchyard mold. Strange the view some people hold. Strange the view some people hold. Strange the view some people hold. Strange, oh strange the views. Better than the method old, which was coarse and cruel, and is the plan that we've extolled. Seen by verse
Now take a card and gaily sing how little you care for fortune's rubs.
Hurrah, hurrah, I've drawn a king!
A king, he is drawn.
Kings sing hearts and diamonds, spades and clubs, sing hearts and diamonds, spades and clubs. How strange to think he's drawn a king. He's chanced at eight.
Sing diamonds, hearts, and spades and clubs. Diamonds, hearts, and clubs, and spades. Sing hearts and diamonds, spades and clubs. Sing diamonds, hearts, and clubs, and spades. Sing hearts and diamonds, spades and clubs. Sing hearts and spades.
Now take a card with heart of grace, whate'er our fate, let's play our part.
Hurrah, hurrah, I've drawn an ace.
An ace,
I've drawn an ace. Sing clubs and diamonds, spades and hearts, sing clubs and diamonds, spades and hearts. He's drawn an ace, I've drawn an ace. Thank you for the fortune too.
sing diamonds, hearts, and spades and clubs. Diamonds, hearts, and clubs, and spades. Sing hearts and diamonds, spades and clubs. Sing diamonds, hearts, and clubs, and spades. Sing hearts and diamonds, spades and clubs. Sing hearts and spades.
That both these maids may keep their troth and never misfortune them befall, I hold them as trustee for both.
You hold them both, you hold them both. Yes, you hold. Sing hearts and diamonds, spades and clubs. Sing hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades and clubs. My joint decree is hard to see. This no trickery will now install. Because we elect and keep the heart. My joint decree as our trustee, this no trickery will now install. As our trustee. Sing diamonds, hearts, and spades and clubs. Diamonds, hearts, and clubs, and spades. Sing hearts and diamonds, spades and clubs. Sing diamonds, hearts, and clubs. Sing hearts and diamonds, spades and clubs. Sing diamonds, hearts.